Hi, this is Neil and Rob from Cubase, and we're here at the Institute of Fundraising Special Interest Group Insight Conference 2018, where we're presenting the new and exclusive Gin and Data Live.
Time for some gin?
Cheers!
We're going out to Woking, home of WWF, of
All
course.
right.
Yeah, and also the home of Brockman's gin. So Brockman's completely different from the last gin. So rather than being really citrus forward, these guys use blueberries and blackberries. So you get a much softer, silkier gin. So it's the pink shot glass that you've got. If you all want to try it.
And is it this one for the
isn't
panel?
It's audience participation. and for the panel, it's the one with the blueberries in. So because it's got blueberries, we've perfect served with blueberries. If you really want to go for it, you can drop pink grapefruit in there as well. I find it just overpowers the Brockman's a little bit too much though.
That's
what do you think of that one?
Fruity, isn't it?
Much fruitier, isn't it? It's much different, softer. Yeah? Which one's the favourite so far? Brockman's or? Oh, you like them both? Yeah,
both.
Me too. Okay, so that's Brockman's.
Very nice. You enjoy that? Is it? Yeah? General feeling? Which one's your favourite, Jeff? From the first to the second?
Well, I always have a lot of the first one. The second one's really nice.
Yeah.
Something different.
Bodes well for the last one. Is that the pièce de résistance, or have I ruined it already?
The last one is a big departure. We'll get there.
Right, so I'm going to introduce the next topic actually, and I wanted to speak to you, Jeff, because one of the things that Paresh has mentioned around analytics, I was quite keen to know, is that something? What does that mean for you at the British Legion? How do you kind of get involved with prescriptive analytics?
Well, I'd love to be able to say that we do, and it's one of those things. I mean, before you can get into that really great stuff, you've got to have the infrastructure in place. I mean, not just the kit, but also the software and the people.
Yeah.
And if you haven't got that, then actually you can't move onto that sort of stuff yet.
Right.
But I'm taking the Legion on that journey at the moment.
So what do you do with prescriptive and descriptive analytics? Do you do anything?
Oh yeah, I mean we have legacy analytics models.
Yeah.
But that's, I think, really we can do so much more, and we're only just dabbling around the edges.
Right. Okay. So you've obviously mentioned the kind of infrastructure. What does it take to get that infrastructure then? How do you get there?
I think, well for me, when I joined the Legion just over a year ago, and the Legion itself uses Care NG as its sort of core database.
Right.
And what I found was that I've got a team of say 4 people loading data loads, and it's taking sort of all manual, and so it's really process intensive, and everything's got a time lag on it. So it was, what can we do to speed things up, and also where you've got the ability to do data extracts. That's a week or more long process by the time you set the queries and then come in and once they've been run. So I tried to then condense that into sort of what the Legion's biggest pain points are, and then put that as a situation analysis to the board, and then had to go to the board to get the cash, to then go to the board of trustees to get the approval, to then start an infrastructure project to put in an ETL so we can do automation, speed things up, to put in fast stats so we can do thought train analysis and to be able to do extracts properly and quickly. Change data cleansing suppliers so you can do that in real time, because beforehand that was taking 4 or 5 days.
Really?
Yeah. So you start to put all those things in place, then we're on the way to actually being able to achieve some of our strategic objectives. And I think that's the other thing. When you try and sort of sell this into the board, it's like, well, we're trying to achieve things like operational effectiveness and attract a younger, more digitally enabled audience. And you can't do that without having these things in place, because everyone's expectations are using Amazon and any other sort of retail environment site, and unless you've got those things in place, it just doesn't work.
Yeah. So it kind of harks back to what you were saying, wasn't it, Paresh, around that getting the fundamentals right and that infrastructure to then have the foundations to build upon. So obviously it sounds like you're going through a heck of a lot of change. What's your advice on that infrastructure change?
Well, I think
what advice would you give?
Well, it's about just staying focused, because once you kind of go out and do the needs analysis and you start asking colleagues what is it you really want to be able to do, everyone sort of piles in with their wish lists. And I've kept it really tight by saying, well, actually, we're not doing anything really new. What we're doing is automating a lot of manual processes, and all the benefit comes out the back end. So while the journey we're on, by the time we get to sort of the early part of next year, everything will be in place, and we'll just do a period of stabilisation, and then we can then start to move out to do predictive modelling and things like that once the team have just got used to working with automated platforms.
And is it difficult to keep a project like that on track?
Well, yes and no. I mean, the key thing is basically to repeat what it is that you're doing a lot of the time. I mean, I've said things, for like the 100th time, and it's usually when I'm talking to stakeholders internally, maybe the first or second time they're hearing it, and it's picking something that's really simple for people to grasp hold of. So what I'd normally say is, if you look at someone like the British Red Cross, they can do disaster communications and get things out the next day.
Yeah.
With us, we'd be still thinking about it within a week. And now to be able to say you can do a data extract and you can have the mailing file at the printers within 20 minutes, because you've got real-time permissions, real-time data cleansing. You've got a single supporter view, or a marketing database in place, so you can actually do those sorts of selections and just get them straight out the door. Once you kind of tell people, oh, it used to take a week, it now takes 20 minutes. It's like boom, you've got it. Yeah.
So as much as kind of the kind of implementation of the infrastructure, it's setting the vision and repeating the vision to get that across. So what are you going to do once you're operational, I guess, is the question.
Well, that's just about speeding up the cycle. So if you've got sort of data loads, because the way to avoid the project failure is trying to not change everything at once. So we might have things like Just Giving and Virgin Money and bank account payment and contact files. And so we're only going to transform them from the state that they're currently in, but then the next thing to do is then move on to APIs and then just accelerate the speed at which you ingest data.
Right, okay. And then kind of, I guess then there's once you've got all of that in place, is there a longer term view to be using things like prescriptive analytics more?
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, the thing for me, I want to be able to give the individual giving teams and the mass events teams enough information to say, like, here's your new, or here's people you hadn't even thought about going to go and see and talk to. Here's your new audiences. And ideally, it's about, we've done the research. So rather than being given last year's brief with the date changed, it's like, here's where actually you should be putting your next set of bets. But more importantly, expanding the speed of the sort of in-life campaign cycle. So you can kind of identify, this one's going absolutely brilliantly. Here's another 15,000 or 20,000 people. You should just get a mailing out straight away, or an email campaign out straight away. So you can then just continue to maximise that while you've still kind of got the space within the campaign, and just extend the awareness curve.
And that's going to hark back to your kind of new audience segment as well, isn't it? Because they want real time. That younger audience is there to have that real time experience and the real time customer journey. If
we don't have that, then we're not meeting the strategic objectives. We're not meeting the thing that is sold into the board and the board of trustees. And if I don't do that, then I won't get any more money. They'll never give me any more cash.
Cheers, Jeff. Well, thanks very much. I don't know about you. We brought the topic out around to get into some of the detail around what it takes to get to prescriptive analytics. So hopefully that was kind of useful for everybody to have a bit of insight. Thanks, Jeff. I really appreciate that. Rob.
Me again.
Yeah. Hello.
More gin.
It's more gin
Fabulous
time, I think.